Well, it's a lovely Monday morning here in Virginia. I'm Rod. This is Keto, and that's where we're at. So, what we got going on today? Well, let's start with our weight. We hit the 15 pounds down mark last week, like Thursday, and I was really excited, and I still am excited, except that I'm still at 15 pounds down. Why? I went down further than that. I was down 17 pounds, but yesterday was Mother's Day, so guess what I did? Yeah, I cheated. What are you going to do? So, here we are, back at the drawing board today. There's just sometimes you got to do stuff, and I don't fault anyone. Hey, why did my bacon break in half? Talk about a bunch of fat. Wow. Anyway, yeah, so back on the wagon. Here we go. Gonna lose it all. I'm going on a cruise in 5.5 weeks, and I've got to be down 15 pounds. So I got my work cut out for me, you know what I'm saying? So here we go. Let me see, what else we got going on? I am using up the last of my Applewood smoked bacon this morning. I am switching bacon, no more of this thick stuff. I am just going to go to, this is Simple Truth uncured bacon. It has bacon, sea salt, and that's about it. There's no sugar added. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the one I'm doing from now on. I don't need sugar in my bacon. That bacon tastes absolutely amazing. So yeah, they can keep their stuff. We need a utensil. Where in the hell are my utensils? Oh, lovely. Okay, well, we'll just wash one off real quick. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So anyway, that was my weekend. I hope you did better if you're on a keto or a carnivore. Hopefully you stayed true to yourself, unlike me. But anyway, it happens, okay? And once again, back on the horse. And I'm going to hit this target if it just kills me. And it may. Anyway, I got a couple fun things I'm going to do this week. One, I keep watching these YouTubes on grass-fed this and grass-fed that, and I tried a grass-fed steak or something, I don't know, weeks or months ago, and I got a flavor out of that steak that I just did not care for. Now, I was raised at a young age, northern Vermont, dairy farm area, raised in dairy farms, ate fresh meat all the time. But even back then, the farmers did a little grain, besides the grass, and they also did a little bit of corn. They harvested cow corn and fed that to them. So I don't know. This grass-fed stuff is nice, and and they showed the meat. The meat looks a whole lot leaner on the grass-fed, but then again, in the next breath, they'll say, well, you want to eat fat, so, what the hell. So anyway, here's what I did. I went out and bought some ground beef, regular, and I bought some grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef, and I am going to fry those up tonight for dinner. Actually, I may do it for lunch over here tomorrow. I may skip breakfast tomorrow and go right to lunch and cook those over here and see if I can tell which one, or if I can taste any difference in them. I also bought, we went to Costco, and I loaded up on filet mignon. I bought a whole one up there. I bought another Do I have it over here? I don't even know. Let me see. Yeah, look at this. Good Lord. Look at the size of these. Look at the thickness of these suckers. Good Lord, look at that. Oh, beautiful stuff. I gotta cut this up, vacuum seal it, and if that's not enough, I got this monster right here. I've also got to cut up, and this is a ton. Of course, I don't have my glasses on. It looks like 4.5 pounds. So between these two, I've probably got 6 pounds of steak I've got to cut up and vacuum seal so it stays good. So I got that to do. But anyway, I got some grass finished steak this morning. Where did I get it? I don't even know where I got it at. It might have been Sam's. So I'm going to try that versus regular beef that's, you know, grain fed, whatever in the hell they feed them. I have no idea. So anyway, and see if I can taste the difference. If I can handle grass fed, great. But I swear the one I had back then, I just had a taste that I was like, nah, that doesn't really do it for me. So I'm not saying it's not healthier. Probably is. But you know, the other thing is with this whole keto and carnivore, you know, this salt you gotta have. Oh no, don't eat that salt. Have this salt over here. You know, it's just gets to be a little much. So my thing is carbs. All right, I am diabetic, type 2. I have found out that if I just keep my carbs under 10, and most days I'm under 5, I just feel amazing, and the weight falls off me. So more than what diet, keto, carnivore, you know, ketovore, I guess is a new one. You know, what it's called, it really doesn't matter to me. What I care about is keeping down the carbs, and I think that's all I need to worry about. So that's the route I'm going. Like I said, I'm going to be switching to the bacon without sugar. I'm trying to just get rid of sugar is what I'm doing. Because my blood sugar last week, you know, I went like almost carnivore for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. And by the middle of, by Friday, all of the last week really, my blood pressure was down to normal. I would take it and I'd be like, it was actually a little below normal. I was like, holy crap, I don't have to take my blood pressure meds. You know, there was a couple days it was a little high, so I took like a half a dose, you know, and I monitor my blood pressure at least once a day, sometimes twice. I have blood pressure cuffs all over the house. I've got this big heavy-duty blood pressure thing that you put your arm through. It looks like a cast almost. You put it in here, it holds your arm in the right spot, you press the button, and it gives you a very, very accurate blood pressure reading. I've measured it with doctors and everything else, and it's dead on, if not better, than they can do, because it doesn't rely on anybody's hearing. I was shocked. And my blood sugars, you guys, I am horrible. I mean, my insulin resistance is flipping ridiculous. I mean, if I eat the standard diet, American diet, my blood sugar will go up to in the 300s and stay there. Okay, and I've got to pump in 100 units or more of insulin every day just to keep it down in the 2s and 3s, okay? So it's not. Last week, my sugar was under 200, sometimes under 100 all week long. I mean, I get that early morning sugar thing where your pancreas or whatever spits out a bunch of sugar. Mine does that, but even then, it wouldn't go up over 210 at the most. So, you know, it's the way I gotta go. I mean, and I felt so good. The neuropathy in my feet and hands and everything else began to reverse itself, and it was just a great feeling. So, you know, I don't care what you call a diet. I'm just getting rid of my carbs, and that's what I'm doing. So, you know, your mileage may vary, and you can do what you want to do, but for goodness sakes, get medical help. Don't do what I do without talking to your doctor first. That's all I can say. So, you know, do that, and then see where we end up, you know. So, and see if what works for you. Everybody has difference. You know, some people can eat 20 or 30 carbs a day and still drop a ton of weight. I can't do that anymore. So, so do whatever you need to do to get where you want to get, and that's all there is to it. So, gotta crack some eggs here. My goodness, brand new pasture-raised eggs. Love them. Don't trust them. I got to make sure they're not old and the shells crack and disintegrate and go into my breakfast, because we all know my pet peeve, which really pees me off, is eggshells in my breakfast. So anyway, we got that out of the way. Whew, one. Yes, these are good. Boink. Two. I'm just be so careful with these, because if they do crack badly, I don't want to lose the eggshells. Yep, doing great. And of course one broke. It just drives me crazy. I don't know. So we'll have a 5-egg breakfast today instead of 4. Boom. There we go. I hate broken eggs. I mean, I can live with that. I hate eggshells in my eggs. So there's that guy. So anyway, turn this back on low, get it heating up a little bit. Got plenty of good bacon grease in here. Can baste my eggs if I want to, for crying out loud. I just did 4 slices of bacon. Now it's thick bacon. So, but I mean, look at all the grease I cooked out of that. I mean, whoa. You know, and they're still all fat. So I don't know. So we'll do that later. So anyway, later in the week, I'll do a little contest over here. I got the grass-fed steaks and regular steaks. I've got the grass-fed ground beef and the regular ground beef. And I'm gonna just cook a little and do a taste test. It'll start at lunch tomorrow, probably with some ground beef, and then lunch on Wednesday, we'll go ahead and do the steaks, and see what happens. So, I mean, I hope I like the grass-fed ones. Maybe that was just a fluke. Maybe I got some old ass, some old grass-fed beasts. Who knows? But anyway, I got to do that and find out once and for all. And then what do you do about pork and chicken? I mean, hardcore carnivores don't like to eat pork and chicken. I do, not all the time, but you know, I got pork, chicken, and fish, right? Are all things I can eat. So to me, every other night, you know, I'll have steak, beef one night, next night I'll do some chicken. Like chicken thighs are one of my favorites. I bread them with, I don't know if you've seen it, but they have this, I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's breading made out of pork rinds. And so it has no carbs. Just gives it a little crunch on the shell. So I bread them in that, and then I throw them into the air fryer. Primo. So chicken thighs I have, salmon, you know, love that stuff. I try to buy wild caught whenever I can, but you know, that's getting hard to find. So that's what I do. I rotate, you know, and shrimp. You know, if I have the steak, I'll have steak and shrimp some nights. I love that. So that's what I do, and to keep things changed up. And I use seasoning like garlic salt. That's why carnivores will go, oh, you can't do that. We know, we know. That's why I'm not one of you. Although I admire you, I really do. I think people on the carnivore diet, carnivore is probably, in my opinion, and I like have crap for an opinion, so don't go by anything I say, but I think it's probably the ultimate healthiest diet. I do like keto, and Dr. Westman down at Duke University, his name's Eric Westman, he's on YouTube everywhere. I urge you, if you want to learn about keto, listen to him. If you want to learn about carnivore and things like that, go to Dr. Barry, Chafee. You know, there's guys on there all over the place. And just Google it and learn everything you can before you even get into it. That's my advice. I mean, I've been doing a keto diet, as I've said before, since mid to late 90s is the first time I did a keto diet. And I lost weight, and I've been doing it ever since. Once again, I've slowed down now. I'm pushing 70, believe it or not. Probably look like I'm 80, but anyway, pushing 70, and so losing weight is definitely not as easy as it used to be. And boy, it took me no time to turn into the Goodyear blimp over here, you know? I mean, good Lord. I started 50 pounds overweight, which sucks at my age. So I'm on my way down. I'm doing what I've done for years. It's tried and true. It works. If I could just stay on it all the time, it would work even better. But, you know, I have been the consummate yo-yo idiot, okay? And, you know, I call myself names. It's okay. I don't hate myself, trust me. But I do it in jest. But I have been the yo-yo idiot where I will lose. I'll go, oh my God, I'm fat. You know, I used to be like, get 20 pounds overweight. I'd go, whoa. And I'd do keto for a while, lose it all in about 3 weeks. And it would take a year and a half to get back on again, you know, because I was just more active and everything. Now, Mr. Blubber, I mean, if I go off keto for a week, I'll put on 10 pounds, just like that. So, can't do it anymore, don't want to do it anymore. So I have found a diet and a way of eating that I enjoy, because I enjoy my meat. I love my tomatoes too, so you'll see me from time to time going out to the garden and grabbing a fresh tomato, having it with my lunch, but that's my keto limit for the day right there. You know, occasional green beans. And things like that, but never, I'm going to definitely keep under 10 carbs a day. So anyway, that's it for now. I've kept you tied up long enough. I'm going to go wolf down my breakfast, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow at noon. We'll do the hamburger cook-off between grass and grains. All right, take care, everybody.